Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Weekly Weekender. It's Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, February 2nd, 2020. And guys, so sorry. First off the bat, I just want to say I'm totally sorry for the delay. We normally have our broadcast on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. They give you the biggest, best stories in Hollywood and movie news. And as a consequence of my own personal work schedule, I am totally beyond exhausted. 40 hours at work, 40 hours on the channel here. I couldn't keep up, so I needed a little bit of rest. But hey, it's Super Bowl Sunday, so hopefully we still have your attention here before the big game, because we've got still 10 of the biggest topics to cover from just last week. So if you'll indulge me and you want to join in and talk about movie news, industry news, leave a comment down in the comment section down below. Of course, in the live stream as well. And also, if you're feeling really, really generous, leave us a super chat. So with that out the way, guys, let's just start right off the bat with our main topic for today. But before we do that, actually, I'd like to give you a quick message from our sponsors, Popeyes. They're offering the $10 non-GMO, kosher, gluten-free, Saudi Priest, Kundalini blessed pasture box. It's only available at the new Popeyes Louisiana Fresh Kitchen. So do yourself a favor. Do yourself a flavor. Grab some Popeyes right now, man. I'm telling you, it's all brand new. It's all non-GMO. It's totally natural. Totally good for you. And that is our message from our sponsors, the lovely people at Popeyes. Cool. So let's start with our first topic for the day. Force Combat, the fan-made Star Wars fighting game, is released for free. And this is coming to us from apptrigger.com. Force Combat. Created by a passionate fan, Force Combat reminds us how much we desperately need a Star Wars fighting game. Ain't that the truth? Make it happen, EA. Some of you may be too young to remember, but back in 1997, LucasArts developed and released a game called Star Wars Masters of Teräs Käsi for the original PlayStation. It was a fighting game with all the promise in the world, taking characters from the Star Wars universe and pitting them in one-on-one combat. Now, since last year, a fan by the handle of Last Jawa has been single-handedly developing a Star Wars fighting game called Force Combat. And while fan-made projects are nothing new, this one actually looked like it had some pretty amazing potential, especially given the resources. So, cool. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or had a chance to look at it, but it is absolutely stunning. I believe it is being rendered in the Unreal Engine, and a lot of the character polygon sprites, I believe they're referred to, the character mapping, is pulled directly from one of the EA games. Maybe it was Battlefront, I'm not entirely sure, but I did watch the live demo on YouTube. I did download the game myself, so if you guys haven't heard about this yet, check it out. For an old man Star Wars fan like myself, this definitely does ring true to the original spirit of the Teräs Käsi, which came out on the PlayStation. I loved playing that as a kid. And yeah, to my knowledge, I don't think there's been any like hand-to-hand Star Wars themed combat games since. So, EA, take notice, guys. We want this. Alright, so moving on to our second topic. This is going to be coming to us from IGN. The Uncharted movie release date is being pushed back. The drama behind the upcoming Uncharted movie continues as Sony has announced that the film has been delayed by 3 months, likely a result of losing its 6th director last month. Good God. That's I think that's on par or as worse a losing streak as Kathleen Kennedy has done with her firing of directors over at Lucasfilm. Anyways, moving back to IGN article. According to The Hollywood Reporter's Aaron Couch, thank you, Mr. Couch, the Uncharted movie has been delayed until March 5th, 2021. Almost 3 months later than its initial December 2020 release date. Yikes. Further, the film will be taking over the March 2021 release date that was originally being held for He-Man's Masters of the Universe movie, which has now been taken off the calendar, according to Mr. Couch's report. While this news is likely disappointing to fans, the news shouldn't be too surprising given the long, strange history of the Uncharted movie, which has experienced a handful of director changes and casting roller coasters. The film will star Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, and potentially Mark Wahlberg as Drake's mentor, Victor Sully Sullivan. Further, Sony is reportedly in talks with Venom's Ruben Fleischer, which would make him the film's 7th director. In 2019, Sony announced PlayStation Productions, a production studio that aims to take Sony's catalog of video game titles and franchises and adapt them for film and television. So right off the bat, guys, I'm sure we've all become pretty accustomed to mix-ups in productions and timetables being changed. So provided that this is Sony Studios kind of following in lockstep with what's happening at Lucasfilm for this particular project we're talking about, I can't say I'm surprised by it. I'm perhaps probably numb to the news here. It is a little disappointing to hear off the bat. But, first and foremost, what matters most during the production cycle? It's making sure you have a quality product and streamlining that vision for quality and a great narrative and a fantastic movie all the way through, even if it means, initiating production delays. No one is going to be well served by rushing a product out to market earlier than it should be just because you had set a date for it. So I'm going to be cautiously optimistic about this. I'm going to hope that the studios are doing this for good reason and they're trying to maintain quality control over this debut film, which would presumably be the launch pad for a whole series of films starring starring Tom Holland as Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series. So let's hope all this means something good. And let's move forward with our next topic. This is coming to us from The Hollywood Reporter, and it's about something nobody asked for. The new Transformers movies are in the works with Zodiac and Army of the Dead writers. Okay, all right. I'm game. Tickled me curious, perhaps. Netflix is poised to let go of roughly 15 marketing staffers from its Los Angeles office in the wake of last year's shift in marketing leadership, Variety has learned. The layoffs represent a whoa, what is happening here? I'm jumping the gun, guys. Sorry. Let me back it up for those of you watching. I'm so sorry. Jumping the gun here. We're talking about Transformers. And guys, while you're watching, thank you so much for liking, by the way. Really appreciate it. Jordy Lyons, what the hell, bro? What's up, man? Hey, dude, great to see you too. Glad you're here. And Jean d'Arc. Well, thank you so much for the great reviews. Really appreciate you watching, Jean d'Arc. Jordy, Uncharted was moved because Disney has competition issues and to avoid two of their own overlapping. Yeah. And the two of their own, are you referring to the He-Man project and the Uncharted project, Jordy? Either way, man, let me know. I'll come back to that. Thank you so much for commenting and liking. Appreciate it, guys. But let's get back to the topic of Transformers here. Paramount and Hasbro are pursuing concurrent development as they seek to expand the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons. Paramount and Hasbro are rebuilding Transformers. Rebuilding. I think you're going to have to do a whole retooling, but okay, let's see. Hiring not one, but two writers to pen scripts for the multi-billion-dollar film franchise. Joby Harold, who co-wrote the upcoming Zack Snyder zombie movie Army of the Dead, and James Vanderbilt, perhaps best known for writing David Fincher's Zodiac, have been tapped to pen separate scripts as the companies pursue concurrent development. Takes on the direction of the new projects were not revealed, but Paramount and Hasbro see the hires as giving the franchise a chance to build out multiple arcs and to also expand the Transformers universe. The toy brand's underlying storyline is a seemingly never-ending battle between the good robots who can turn into cars and the Autobots, and the wicked robots who can turn into military hardware, the Decepticons. A little bit of a loaded topic here. First of all, as I said, this is the property that nobody is asking for, and I think it's exemplified perfectly well in the fact that the box office returns for the Transformers series has steadily gone down with each concurrent release up until Travis Knight's reimagining or reboot, the latest Transformers movie, which is more of a tale between Bumblebee and some chick, forgot her name already. But you know, obviously there's not much of a taste for Transformers in the market, provided what we've had established anyways. Not to say that a reboot could not work if they reimagine it, retool it, give it the credibility perhaps the franchise deserves. But it does lead me to a little bit of concern provided that context. And also, in addition to the fact, what up, Jordy? What's good, brother? Just trying to get this thing out the way, man. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm a day away on this, but you know, I had all these stories compiled. I'm tired AF, but I'm here. I'm doing it, so I'm glad you're tuning in. Thank you so much. So here's my concern about this, because Paramount is attached to the project, and we all know Paramount has had a shall we say, anemic release schedule, and I'm always referencing this movie right here, man. This is one of my favorite IPs that's been stuck in development hell for 20 years, even had the wonderful Steven Spielberg attached to produce, maybe even direct. And, you know, Paramount was a studio that, you know, dropped $170 million into the budget, not including marketing. I mean, really, when you're investing that amount of money, and it seems like they're putting their best foot forward. They're putting their money where their mouth is, right, with these properties. But oftentimes, I find that the end product is really leaving a lot to be desired. So I'm not sure who's running things at Paramount in regards to script approval, overseeing the whole production of stuff. But yeah, they got a lot of stinkers on their hands. So Paramount really does need some wins. And I'm not, at least initially, I'm not entirely sure that rebooting the Transformers IP is the right way to go, but you never know. Jordy Lyons says, you get your partner status yet? If you're referring to my partner on the show, which I don't think you are, he is MIA. He's got other duties right now. If you're referring to a YouTube partner status, oh yeah, absolutely. We are totally a YouTube partner program official now. So that's awesome. We've got 1,030 subscribers as of today. Looking to boost those numbers come the Oscars, which we are live streaming on Sunday, February 9th. So be there. But yeah, man, it's great. I love talking to all of you guys in the comment sections, on the videos, in the live stream. It's definitely like, because I'm so isolated, doing all the research and doing all the video editing and prepping and shooting on camera all by myself, coming on screen, talking with you guys, and in the comments at any point, all the interaction. It's my favorite part of this whole endeavor. So thank you truly for being here. So that out the way, let's move on to our next topic. And this is coming, Jordy says, good, let's start monetizing your work. Well, you know what? Guys, full disclosure, we're totally monetized now. You're going to notice some changes in terms of the production with regard specifically to the movie reviews. You know, I could play full-length trailer clips for the reactions, which I've decided to cancel reactions because I honestly, I never really cared about trailer reactions. I think they're stupid, but we got a lot of views on them, so that was kind of like a strategy in the beginning. But now that we've breached the threshold for subscribers to allow us to be monetized, I think it's unnecessary, and it's a lot of work to do something I don't really care about. And then I actually I had a poll for the channel, which I think 80% of viewers said they wanted movie reviews, 0% said trailer reactions, and then I think we had about 11 to 15% for movie news. Got to develop the format a little bit more, you know, brush it up, but you know, I'm doing my best, guys, so don't worry, I'm putting in the work. So But yeah, monetizing. Fun fact: I think right now I've accumulated a grand total of $2. So yeah, it's awesome. Oh shit, Jordy! If I want to make you a moderator, you'll help any way you can to grow, dude. Yeah, I would absolutely love that, dude. Paula Ballers, I actually made her a moderator. She's down. She's going to be here on February 9th for the Oscars live stream. Now, if the past is precedent, when I did the Golden Globes live stream, I think we had about 105,000 active viewers. So you can imagine that live chat was blowing up, a lot of crazy stuff going on there. I couldn't manage it by myself while concurrently doing the live stream. So yeah, man, if you want to come on board for that and simultaneously watch the Oscars through the live stream, awesome. If you can't make it, no worries, but future forward for Weekly Weekender, yeah, that'd be great, man. We don't have many viewers on the live stream for Weekly Weekender at the moment, but yeah, anything you want to do, dude, totally awesome. That's freaking amazing of you to offer, bro. So thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it, dude. Crazy. Love that PGS community. So hats off to Robert Meyer Burnett's PGS community. You guys are all fantastic. Jordy, you're fantastic from the beginning, man. Truly, I thank you. So anyways, I know all you guys don't know what the hell we're talking about, what I'm talking about for the most part, so we'll move forward into our next topic. But before we do that, let's give you a lovely message from our sponsors, Popeyes.
The fried chicken fever has hit Nazi Germany. We learned on Twitter that the Popeyes chicken sandwich is unsold out. Also, they say the chicken sandwich is going to come back as soon as possible. Thanks. Also, we learned from New York Times there's 15 minutes to mayhem for shortage of Popeye's chicken sandwich. Lastly, we learned 15 days this chicken sandwich has been sold out. Uns, mein Führer, is not a fan.
All right, thank you, Popeyes. From World War II, apparently, Hitler's got he's got the ear on the whole Popeyes sandwich craze. So, guys, watch out. Okay, so Netflix is to lay off roughly 15 in marketing department shift. Now, this is coming to us from Variety. Netflix is poised to let go of roughly 15 marketing staffers from its Los Angeles office in the wake of last year's shift in marketing leadership. Variety has learned this recently. The layoffs represent a small percentage of the greater marketing division, according to a source, and follows the hiring last July of Jackie Lee Joe as Chief Marketing Officer, who hails from BBC Studios and served as its Chief Marketing Officer for nearly 4 years. The move whittles down what Lee Joe believes to have been perhaps a slightly bloated marketing department. Okay. A person familiar with the situation told Variety, "The company will continue to promote individual shows, as part of its greater marketing initiatives to promote the whole service." So, little bit here, I find funny. I mean, not funny, because it's terrible, the fact that people are getting laid off. That's always a sad subject to talk about. But I find it interesting, perhaps, is a better way to phrase it. The fact that, they say it's an overbloated marketing department, but I've noticed this. John Campea has talked about this. Andy Signore has talked about this. I think even Robert Meyer Burnett has talked about this. All the, top YouTube pundits for movie news and entertainment news often complain about the fact that Netflix has a horrible marketing algorithm. I mean, there are so many awesome shows on the platform that I don't come into learning about through the platform directly. It's always through word of mouth or through some other channel outside of Netflix. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not involved in the whole Netflix operation, so I'm just some random guy on YouTube talking about it. But from the outside, it seems to me you might want to bolster your marketing division a little bit more, because what you guys are doing clearly is not working. I don't know if cutting people out is the best way to get your message out even more. I don't know. Or maybe those 15 people are the ones who are holding back the whole marketing drive and making those bad ideas and whatever they're doing at Netflix. But it is something noteworthy to mention in the light of recent events. Oh, hey, $2 is a great start. Wow, hold up. 50K in no time, right? I was like, wait, hold on. Can you see my analytics, Jordy? I saw that 50K. I'm waiting. Hold up. There's no way in hell I made 50K. Because the last videos that I got like 105,000 views on for Golden Globes, of course, because it's copyrighted material, I can't monetize that. But it's a great way to give a service to a lot of our international viewers. I think about 36% of the viewers on this channel are in the United States. So a lot of a big international audience. So I think it's cool to broadcast these award ceremonies to those of you outside the US in a quality format. And also, of course, I'm not going to lie, it does drive up the metrics for me too, which is always a great thing. It also gives me more exposure to talk to you guys. Oh, hey, Storm Shadow. What's up, dude? Thank you so much for being here, man. Sorry for the delay. I know 11:30 on Saturday. Today is not. It's Super Bowl Sunday. But again, in the beginning of the broadcast, I explained the reasons behind the late start here. So anyhow, Storm Shadow, what do you say? I don't care about Uncharted. Only games I like. Don't ask me why. So, I'm going to be honest with you. Storm Shadow, man. I like, we're always on the same page about a lot of things. And I like the fact that you give me a lot of like great commentary, and you show me a lot of like movie news and movie topics that are of interest to me. And I agree with you. I mean, I haven't really played any console games since the original PlayStation, some PlayStation 2, and that's about it. And there are properties that I will drop into play, but I don't own a console, because just to own a console to play a couple games, not really my bag. Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid, Super Smash Brothers, those are like what come to the top of my head. But yeah, Uncharted, I've heard fantastic things about it, that it has a very cinematic feel, great gameplay, great cutscenes. But yeah, I haven't played it, honestly. So I'm personally not like super like excited about it, as if like Final Fantasy VII was being adapted for a movie, or the Metal Gear Solid movie, which is in production. What's his name? Robert Vaught, something like that. The director of Kong Skull Island, who's working hand in hand with Hideo Kojima for the Metal Gear Solid movie. That's something, like, that's near and dear to my heart. I would love to see something like that, man. So, yeah, I feel you on that point, dude. Jordy Lines, hit the like button. Oh, yeah, dude, absolutely. Jordy, you're a true moderator, bro. This is a professional here right now. He moderates the live stream in Robert Meyer Burnett's channel. And yeah, I need to get better on those calls to action. Hit that like button, definitely drives it up. Jordy, thank you, man, for the reminder. You're a very talented guy. I believe in you, and don't sell yourself short. Damn, Jordy. I truly appreciate it, man. I'm doing my absolute best, dude. Like, I'm taking this whole thing very seriously, and I'm doing my best to bring quality content to you guys. So, really, definitely do appreciate that, dude. Seriously, thanks, man. You're awesome, dude. Rick Stein says hello, Rick. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're talking about movie news, so join the conversation with us here. Let's move forward to one of the next topics here, and I'm really excited about this one here. This is coming to us from Variety regarding The Matrix 4. Priyanka Chopra Jones in final negotiations to join The Matrix 4. Priyanka Chopra Jones is taking the red pill. The actress and international beauty icon is in final talks to join the cast of the untitled fourth film in the Matrix saga. The Wachowskis' game-changing action franchise, insiders getting all mixed up there, sorry. Insiders close to the negotiation said. You guys can piece that together, you know what I mean. The Warner Brothers and Village Roadshow film is being directed by series co-creator Lana Wachowski. She'll join the previously announced Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II and Neil Patrick Harris. Details about her prospective character are currently under wraps, as they should be. The Matrix 4 cast has been in fight training for weeks for the production start, which will begin imminently in Northern California. So, really cool. I like that we're seeing a diverse casting of actors for the property. If you guys haven't seen Sense8, off the bat, I'm going to say, guys, you need to watch Sense8. I know the Wachowskis, or one of the Wachowskis, outside of The Matrix, a lot of their films have been box office flops. Speed Racer, one of which is an unmitigated, totally underrated masterpiece of filmmaking. That movie is excellent. It's one of my top films of all time. What they did in that movie in terms of cinematography was nothing short of breathtaking. Like totally just reinvented the concept of how to bring a formerly animated feature into a live action presentation. It's a masterclass of filmmaking, guys. Outside of that, though, you have Jupiter Ascending. I personally did not really get on well with narratively, the story. I mean, anything really. Yeah. Cloud Atlas, though, however, I just think standalone. Now, I love Cloud Atlas. I do think it has its issues, but in terms of what they're trying to do narratively with the filmmaking, totally imaginative. And coming back to what I said with Sense8, Sense8 is kind of the amalgamation of everything they've done before that and everything in the aforementioned I've mentioned. All their filmmaking talents with the cinematography, the screenwriting, the character development, all of it comes to the forefront and is executed in action, like an A-class action, psychological, psychedelic, politically poignant drama that is just engaging and is totally grounded in reality in terms of the cinematography, because it's low budget. It's for the most part, everything is shot in camera. And it's truly breathtaking. It's reimaginative, awesome television. So moving through to The Matrix 4, this is my segue now. What I've seen with what they've done with Sense8, I truly think and I hope that what Lana Wachowski has to present for us for Matrix 4 will fall in line with everything I've mentioned beforehand. And I think we're going to get something really special here. And I'm really excited for it. And just knowing that we've got some awesome cast in addition to this, I think is really just the cherry on top, guys. Hey, we got another comment here. Dr. Nina Wursell. Hey, I work for Jordy's company, and he asked me to drop by. Subscribed and enjoying the show. Damn, Jordy! Come on, man. You're just hooking it up here. Dr. Nina, wow. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much for dropping by. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. This is our live stream movie segment. We do it every weekend. And this is like a time for us to engage and talk to each other live. So this is one of my favorite things to do. And of course, during the week, we'll have movie reviews and sometimes TV reviews. And obviously, I'm going to be, commenting, talking to you guys about your comments on those movie reviews. So thank you, Nina, for dropping by. Thank you for the comment. Hope you're enjoying the show, as you said. One more comment from Mr. Rick Stein. I was asked to tune in and loving the engagement and knowledge. Damn, another one. Jordy, bro, I'm going to have to take those $2 from monetization and hand it to you, brother. So, Rick, thank you so much for dropping in, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Guys, make sure to like, subscribe if you're truly enjoying the content. No pity likes, no pity subscribes, but actually maybe if you want to. Just a little bit, but not really, but kinda. Okay, so with that out of the way, guys, let's move into our next topic. And this is coming to us from The Hollywood Reporter. FX orders Matthew McConaughey drama from Nick Palazzo. Ooh, all right. I think I'm getting more hype here. We're on the hype train. It's the True Detective reunion, and I say that in quotes. Pizzolatto has also moved his overall deal from HBO to Fox 21 TV Studios and FX Productions. While the Emmy-nominated McConaughey has inked a first-look pact with the latter. The True Detective creator and showrunner is moving his overall deal from HBO to Disney's cable and streaming-focused studio, Fox 21 and Fox Productions. Under the new pact, Pizzolatto will create and develop new projects for the studio's various platforms, as well as outside platforms. The creator already has his first project lined up as a part of the deal, and he's reuniting a familiar face with it. So here we go. Here is the money shot. It's True Detective grad Matthew McConaughey, who will star in the series called Redeemer. There are no details on Redeemer outside the, I believe it was the through line, is what they called. As for Pizzolato's decision to leave HBO, sources say the showrunner met with executives at Warner Media-owned premium cable network to discuss a new deal, and all parties involved agreed it was time to part ways. Interesting. He inked his first overall pact with HBO regarding the True Detective series and renewed the deal twice. Pizzolato says, "I'm very excited at the opportunity to work with Matthew again and really grateful and thrilled to have the chance to create new shows for Fox 21 and FX." Still, his departure does not mean the end of True Detective. HBO owns the rights to the series, and sources say could renew the anthology for a fourth season with a new showrunner who could bring a different point of view to the Emmy-winning franchise. So this is really interesting, and we're going to move into more discussion about the whole streaming wars. But guys, you see, there's so many platforms, so many shows, so many new digital networks offering quality content. I mean, they're really amping up their game, and this is no exception to that. So I'm very pleased to hear this, because obviously Matthew McConaughey. Excuse me for a moment. Matthew McConaughey doing anything is always a treat to watch, and knowing that he's going to be pairing up with his former partner Nick Pizzolatto, I'm hoping for something in the vein of True Detective. What are your guys' thoughts on the subject? I'm really curious to hear about that. Rick Stein, Uncharted was moved due to anti-competition deals between the studios. It's standard practice. Yeah, Rick, I believe Jordy did mention this to me. I don't recall seeing that in the article outlined exactly. So that's an interesting bit of information. There were other issues involved with the production, as I understand from the article that I read. Obviously, this seems to be one of them. So there seems to be a lot of moving parts here. I'm not sure how much this one particular issue, as you mentioned, weighs on the moving of it. But it seems to me, based off what the two of you have said, that it is a larger part about it. But whatever has to be done to get a quality, proper project out for us to view, I'll wait patiently. Because if you rush things and you don't do it correctly and it bombs, and then you have no audience support, no studio support, no enthusiasm to carry the project through, perhaps to a sequel to reinvigorate the franchise, then yeah, it'll be dead in the water. So better to sit on your laurels and do it right. And as always, I'm referencing this movie, Ghost in the Shell, Paramount Studios, Rupert Sanders, director. It had all the makings of, Scarlett Johansson at the forefront. A wonderful visual director in Rupert Sanders, although the screenplays for the films he's done have been questionable. 20 years in development hell. Steven Spielberg attached to the project. It's gone through multiple hands, and obviously they took their time, but in a sense, when it really got greenlit and was being developed, I think they really rushed to market, and they rested more on star power and Scarlett Johansson, presumably being able to carry the franchise to a box office blowout, and not really focusing on the screenplay, which was horrible. And the franchise suffered, There's not going to be a Ghost in the Shell 2. There's not going to be a reboot in any foreseeable future. If it took 20 years to get this made, I'm expecting probably another 20 years before we see a reboot or reimagining. So, yeah. Jordy Lyons says, it's inside baseball in the industry. It's like laws and sausages. The public aren't aware how it is done. Yeah, I know. Yeah, right? All we can do is speculate from the outside and then eat the pork and the sausage that they produce outside the factory, gobble it down, and then, if it tastes funny, all we can do is really wonder and speculate about what happens inside that factory that made that sausage taste funny. But they'll never tell us it's made of anuses and pig feet and all that stuff. So, yeah, Jordy, you're right, man. Hey. All right, guys, so let's move into our Next topic here, and this is regarding the whole streaming wars. AT&T loses 1.16 million streaming pay TV subscribers, and HBO Max hits Warner Media earnings. Now, this is interesting because it's coming to us from the Hollywood Reporter, and I'll talk about this briefly. The telecom giant AT&T on Wednesday reported its fourth quarter financials, disclosing that it had lost 219,000 subscribers at its AT&T TV Now streaming service in the period and 945,000 subscribers for its premium TV services at DirecTV and U-verse, with Warner Media earnings in the quarter down amid investment and foregone revenue tied to HBO Max, which is about to release shortly. Now, the biggest part of this whole article here, I'm going to summarize. Overall, AT&T has lost nearly 1.2 million subscribers for their streaming and premium TV platforms in the fourth quarter, after losing 2.9 million in the first three quarters of 2019, bringing the total losses for the year to nearly 4.1 million and bringing the firm's total number of video connections to 20.4 million in the end of 2019. So, I'm going to forego reading the rest of the article here, but it seems what the parent company here, which also owns or has a large shareholding in HBO or HBO Max, is that basically they're really putting their best foot forward for the whole HBO Max thing. And I find this interesting, again, because we just talked about another streaming subscriber, what was it, for the Fox 21, Fox Productions, for the whole Nick Pizzolatto series. So it seems like HBO is really trying to ramp up their HBO Max thing. But what I'm wondering, what I'm questioning here, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, you've got the HBO, the traditional terrestrial service, which you can subscribe to, and then get access to the digital equivalent, which is, I believe, HBO Go. And if you don't have the HBO terrestrial service, as an internet consumer, you can purchase HBO Now, which gives you access to the full content as well as their live. I don't know if it's live streaming for example, Real Time with Bill Maher. I think you might get the upload after the live broadcast, but either way, the same content library is available to you. So I find it curious that they're launching a sister service to HBO Go, HBO Now, and then HBO Max. And there are properties on HBO Max I am genuinely interested to see. And HBO, I think, A-class, like, back catalog. So while they have their best foot forward in terms of, like, delivering quality content, I'm curious about whether or not audiences or consumers are going to be willing to pay for another subservice. Because presumably, as I understand, you have to pay for HBO Now and HBO Max. So, Jordy, he says, let's see if this is topical here. Jordy Lyons says they need to take into account the natural shed of Game of Thrones fans. With no sequel greenlit, there is no reason for them to stay. Yeah, true point, man. Yeah, the natural shed of the Game of Thrones fans. And, I think you're on board with Watchmen. At least I know a lot of the PGS community has been on board with it. I'm one of them. Love what they're doing with it. I'm getting conflicting reports in regards to the whole numbers of how many people are actually watching Watchmen. I'm hearing, of course, from the company itself, HBO, that they're getting fantastic numbers, but also from other third-party reporters, So yeah, with the drop-off of Game of Thrones fans, what reason would they have for them to stay? Artistic merits aside, as I mentioned, HBO is just a champion of quality content, really letting creatives bring their vision to the forefront without much studio involvement. Outside of that, yeah, it's questionable, man. I would have to wonder that myself. But yeah, tying it back into here with this whole AT&T thing and the HBO Max, I don't know. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on that. Let me know in the thoughts. I thought it was worth mentioning though because AT&T is hemorrhaging numbers here. And they're really betting on this whole HBO Max thing. So hopefully it works out. I think it's one thing before we move into the next topic. I think it's very interesting because one of the properties on the HBO Max was the Boondocks reboot, which I was so excited to see because the Boondocks was one of Adult Swim's most critically acclaimed, audience revered anime cartoons, and it really it dipped in quality. I think in the fourth season because the showrunner, creator, writer, director Aaron Magruder was removed from the project, and Sony brought somebody else in, and it totally sucked. So HBO Max picked it up, brought Aaron Magruder back in. It was in development, in the process, ready to go, and then the untimely death of John Witherspoon, I'm sure had an impact on the production because he was one of the star leading voice talents for the property. So that aside, totally kind of intangibly related. I don't know if that's going to be one of the properties on HBO Max, but it did have my interest. Marginally interested in subscribing to see it, but there's too many subscription services out there, guys. So let me know what you think. Before we move into the next topic, Jordy Line says, there's an issue with tax credits and grants due to an unstable Northern Ireland government and Brexit. Oh, man. We do a lot of work with HBO. They are scaling back, and they outlay in Ireland and the UK. Oh, yes. Okay. So I think what you mean, or what I'm interpreting here, is that a lot of the production work is happening in Ireland and the UK, and they're scaling back. Interesting. Credits and grants. I'm sure grants is the key word there because that's where the money is. Huh. Now, I don't want to speak offhand here. When you say they are scaling back, are you referring to the UK government or HBO? I'm presuming you mean the UK government because of the whole issue with Brexit. And I know there's a bit of a delay here, so I want to hear your response on this, Jordy. We'll come back around to it during the next topic. But moving forward, guys, before we get into that, let us give you a fantastic message from our sponsors, the wonderful people at Popeyes. Popeyes Louisiana Fresh Kitchen is launching a new food service. That's right, guys. If you are vegan or you are non-GMO, check it out. It's the new Popeyes Fresh Louisiana Kitchen. It's for the millennials. That's right. It's greasy, but it's still healthy. You can get a $10 non-GMO, kosher, gluten-free, Saudi priest Kundalini blessed, pasture-raised box of chicken at Popeyes. So do yourself a flavor and head on down to Popeyes. Now, I know a lot of people have talked about this already, but I think it's big news. It's regarding the Lethal Weapon 5, which is apparently close to happening with Danny Glover and Mel Gibson in talks. So, this is going to be coming to us from Collider. Could we really be getting another Lethal Weapon movie in the near future? Well, according to producer Daniel Lin, probably yes. All right, for boomers like us, we're excited, but the millennials, I don't know. It's been more than 20 years since Lethal Weapon 4 graced movie screens everywhere. Peter Lin's recent comments in a Producers Roundtable interview for The Hollywood Reporter said, we could be very close to getting that fifth film franchise installment since talks with the leads Gibson and Glover, as well as director Richard Donner, are currently happening. According to Lin, we're trying to make the last Lethal Weapon movie. Oh, sure. I think you got one more after this, and they'll be in the deathbed. But that aside, and Dick Donner's coming back. The original cast is coming back, and it's just amazing. The story itself is very personal to him. Mel and Danny are ready to go, so it's about the script. To reference a non-iconic Lethal Weapon line, it seems that Gibson, Glover, and Donner aren't too old for this shit. At this time, it is all rather vague and unclear what the direction would even be. Warner Brothers Studios hasn't even solidly committed to this property at the time. So, I know there's been a lot of talk about the Lethal Weapon franchise, guys. Sounds good to me. Not sure what a millennial audience would think about this or if they have any interest in seeing it, but if you market it the right way, anything is possible. But I thought it was an interesting bit of news because this is an iconic property that is getting a little bit of a resurgence. Apparently, it's still in talks. Nothing is concrete. No studios have been attached to the project yet, but development is moving along for the most part. Yes. Okay. So Jordy, in regards to our last topic for HBO, Jordy Line says, no, HBO are scaling back. They have a lot of shows on hiatus or have been canceled. It becomes less advantageous to film in Ireland. Grants are backed by the European Union, and it's now a minefield. Wow. Very interesting. Okay. Cool. Very good of you to clarify, Jordy. Thank you, man. HBO is scaling back. Okay, yeah, and obviously because the money pool is drying up in light of the whole Brexit in the UK pulling out of the EU. Very interesting. Well, that's sad. Really sad. And I'm sure that might impact particularly some people in Ireland. As I understand, they're always pretty happy when you have opportunities brought there in terms of production in whatever scale it may be for entertainment or industry. First thing that comes to mind, and this is a little dated, but I'm always thinking when I think of Ireland and foreign companies coming in and developing work opportunities, I always come back to the whole DeLorean plant issue with John DeLorean. And how it really was a boon, as I understand, for the people of Ireland to have manufacturing work brought there in some large capacity and then have it unceremoniously removed. So it seems that, the past is precedent, unfortunately. So sad to hear. Jordy, thanks for that commentary there, man. Thank you for keeping me on the toes of world events as well. Okay, guys, so 2 more topics before we're out of here, so stay tuned. Let's move into our next one, because I think this is a big one. It's coming to us from GameSpot. Netflix and Apple in early talks to buy James Bond and the Rocky movies. Really? MGM has now been reported, and that the company is in early acquisition talks for a deal that would involve selling off its impressive movie and TV catalog. As reported by CNBC, MGM has held preliminary talks with a number of companies to gauge interest in an acquisition. And these companies include Netflix and Apple. Ooh, interesting. MGM is home to several major movie franchises, most notably the James Bond series, as well as Rocky, Mad Max, and RoboCop. It has also produced TV shows such as The Handmaid's Tale and various Stargate series. Ooh, okay. MGM is owned by a group of hedge funds who saved the company from bankruptcy in 2010. As CNBC points out, the decision to sit on its catalog instead of selling it right away has proved to be an extremely good one. Given the current demand for high-profile content among the new streaming platforms. In addition, the fact that Disney and Warner spent huge sums of money on their own acquisitions last year could mean that Netflix or Apple are potentially in strong positions to make the bids for the MGM catalog. All right, so moving along with our whole stream of topics regarding the streaming wars and companies vying for hot IPs, hot properties. If MGM is in a position to sell off some of their catalog, and they're doing it so willingly, the article didn't really detail whether or not this would be. I shouldn't say they didn't detail. As I can tell, it seems that MGM is trying to outright sell the rights to their catalog, as opposed to licensing it through a potential buyer like Netflix or Apple. At least that's my take on this article here. Whether or not that has any merit in the long term in the whole development process of selling off or licensing their catalog is yet to be seen as far as I can tell. I do find it questionable because, these are huge properties, namely James Bond. I'm curious as to why MGM would want to just outright sell it off. So interesting there. But if this is the case, in whatever capacity, and yeah, Netflix and Apple are in early talks to buy it, apparently. Yeah, I think they're one of the top streaming companies, technology companies, right next to Amazon, so they would seem to be a right fit for it. I'm always concerned about consolidation, but, in lieu of us having a small segment of streaming services, yeah, I think a little bit of consolidation would be a good thing here. And the more that I can get quality content into quality content holders' hands, at least right now, I think is for the better. Now, I'm not saying a whole monopoly like just Netflix, but if we have maybe a top 3, at most top 5 streaming service contenders to deliver our content to us, I think we'd be in a good position to spend out our income amongst them to get, all the top level content we love, as well as some indie content, all that stuff. Okay, comments, guys. Jordy Line says, okay. Rhythm Section. For example, the Rhythm Section was one of the last projects to be backed by the European Union Film Fund. Curious. Okay. I love that movie, by the way. I didn't even say I loved it, but I enjoyed it. I gave it a C. You guys can watch my review for it. Not sure what people were expecting when they're complaining about it, but I thought it did what the trailer suggested it would do. But yeah, interesting fact there. Jordy, man, you are just a wealth of information, brother. Where's your YouTube channel, bro? Come on, man. Jordy Lines also says, the problems with these companies buying these IPs, there are serious union issues. Actors and back-end payments / points. These IP need to be bought by experienced studios. Damn! Yes. And that incidentally does tie into my subject here on screen right now, with the MGM catalog being potentially sold to Apple and Netflix. Yeah, experienced studios. Now I think the latter being Apple, not so much of an experienced studio, but I mean from what they've presented to us thus far, yeah, it seems like they, despite not being experienced, what I've seen so far with their content, top quality, top shelf stuff. But Netflix obviously would be one of them. But yeah, man, I would agree. The problem with these companies are buying these IPs. Yeah, they need to be experienced studios for sure. There's a whole wealth of issues we can talk about. And I'm so frustrated, man, just as a normal dude. Yeah, experienced studios, yes. But also having people who are passionate about the product or the subject or the IP, and having, if this IP does have a back catalog or a canon that preceded it, 5, 10, 30 years back, really just getting people on board who really understand this subject material and can vet, drafts of scripts or story ideas or storyboards or whatever, be involved in at some level of the production. And it just baffles me. Like, what, dude, if any large studio, look at here, I'm really big on Star Trek, The Next Generation. Ghost in the Shell, one of my favorite properties. I'm familiar with like all the animes, the manga, everything. If these companies would literally reach out to me and for a consulting fee of $0, I would be there and I would go through the whole production process. So it just baffles me. Obviously, studios, I don't think would do it for $0, but to just reach out to notable, noteworthy, bigger than me content creators who are well versed in whatever subject matter they're developing. Why this doesn't happen? At least to my knowledge, it's not happening, right? Jordy Line says MGM doesn't own the James Bond IP. Danjaq Investments actually own the rights. Interesting. Okay. I didn't know if MGM actually owned it. Perhaps they were just distributing it. So if I did say own it, my apologies. I'm not gonna lie to you though. I did not know Danjaq Investments actually owned the rights. I thought it was Eon Productions. Barbara Broccoli. That was my assumption actually. If we're speaking honestly, Jordy. So. Yeah, I thought MGM was the distributor for the rights, perhaps had the distribution rights. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, still interesting nonetheless. So why this article? As far as I could tell with this article, they only spoke about rights to the properties, not distribution rights. But perhaps I overlooked that. So good on you, Jordy, for looking out there. All the same, whether it's distribution rights or rights to the IP, which Jordy is correcting me on. Thank you so much, brother. At the very least, it might be distribution rights for the property. Still, it's a huge property. So if Netflix and Apple has distribution rights to it, still a big win for them. Okay, guys, so before we close out the day, I want to move into our last topic for the day. And guys, for those of you watching right now, thank you so much for tuning in, commenting. Jordy Lines, awesome as always, dude. Thank you so much. Storm Shadow, thanks for coming in as always. I know it's a Sunday. It's totally beyond our normally scheduled 11:30 time, but thank you for bearing with me. Guys, leave me your thoughts and comments on any of the subjects in the comment section down below. And as Jordy says and has reminded me, like if you like the video, like the topics at hand, subscribe if you like movie news, movie reviews, and I'm not totally annoying you. So, all right, guys, last topic of the day here. And this is coming to us from Polygon.com. Footage is reportedly from the abandoned Star Wars TV series surfaces. It's more Attack of the Clones than Mandalorian. Move over. The Mandalorian, a much older Star Wars TV series, is back on the scene. Footage reportedly from George Lucas's scrap TV series, Star Wars Underworld, has resurfaced online, bringing fans back to a very different time in the Star Wars universe. Oh, I like this. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check the leaked footage yet, but it's awesome. So let's move forward with the article first of all here. A clip making the rounds includes one segment of test footage from the series, as well as a brief behind-the-scenes look at how it was made. In the test footage, a mysterious figure clad in robes, of course, clad in robes because Jedi, arrives at the streets of Coruscant to find plans for an Imperial Star Destroyer. Once she finds the plan, she heads to a small weapons store to try and buy a ship, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to give you the whole synopsis of the series. Check it out if you haven't. But some more important details in the article I'd like to let you guys know if you haven't read it yet. Let me lubricate the vocal cords here. Lucas has explained that the problem with the series was always that it cost too much to make. Right now, quote, right now, it looks like the Star Wars features, but we have to figure out a way to make it at about a tenth of the cost of the features because it's television, Lucas had said on G4's Attack of the Show. Now, this recent rediscovery of these clips comes at a tumultuous times for the Star Wars TV projects. While the first season of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus was a huge success for the company, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series has been, or rather, that was in development, has reportedly been put on hold. Reportedly, so that the script can be reworked. Now, with the idea of stolen Imperial plans planted directly in the center of the Star Wars Underworld test footage, it's hard not to feel like the Cassian series, which doesn't have a release date yet, could end up with the same kind of spirit as Lucas's canceled TV project. So, yeah, let's start off with that last part there. I hope the Cassian Andor series does take notes from this because the test footage looks awesome. If it's real or if it's fan-made, I don't know. I'm inclined to think it's real. The production value is rather high. I'm loving the dark, gritty tone about it. So I'm hoping that, Mandalorian, provided its semi-dark tone, gritty tone, provided the context of this supposed test footage, and then also the nature of the subject matter for a Cassian Andor series, which would deal with the underbelly of the rebellion. If all those things combined give us a really dark, gritty narrative set on Coruscant and other city landscapes and planets, yeah, I would be all about it. Hey, Arsenal Supporters Discord says, hey, I subbed. Dude, thank you, good sir. Truly appreciate it, man. And, more important than you subbing, because I'm not going to lie. Of course, I like having more subscribers. I like having more likes. I like having more comments. But the biggest thing about this whole thing, and I say this to you guys genuinely, my favorite whole part about this whole endeavor is talking with you, developing our own little movie community here, because there's, some bigger players, but I have my own take, I have my own personality. So, having you guys here, if you're really truly enjoying the content that I put a lot of hard work into for you guys, I mean, that's the best part here. So more important than you subscribing, which I totally do appreciate, man, and thank you. I really truly hope you enjoy the work and the content that I put in here for you guys. And anything you want to say to me, keep it real. I have an iron heart. Just tell me the truth straight up. Let me know what your thoughts on this topic, the subject, the channel, anything. I just want to improve and make it better for you guys. So thank you, man. Thank you. Truly appreciate it. But I'm closing out with this topic here, guys, for this supposed Star Wars, Star Wars TV footage show. I'm going to leave links in the comment section and also in the video description once this broadcast is over, so you can check it out. But of course, you guys aren't retarded. I know it's not politically correct to say, but I don't mean it negatively, so you know what I mean. You ain't retarded. You know how to use Google. Just type in Star Wars TV show leaked footage for the test footage or whatever. You can watch it yourself if you can't wait for the description. But yeah, guys, it looks awesome. I just wanted to bring it to your attention if you haven't heard about it, because what's the whole point about Weekly Weekender? It's about me curating 10 of the biggest topics in Hollywood and movie news. Some of them that have been covered by other pundits, others that I try to choose topics that I think are big that haven't had coverage on their channels. So you get a little bit of that and you get a little bit of this, and we can bring it together and make it something new and fresh. And it's a cumulative compilation of topics. So, maybe you don't have time to watch Campea and Robert Meyer Burnett and Andy Signor and all the other pundits on YouTube who are just awesome. You don't have time to follow them. Well, come on here on Movie Pop, Weekly Weekender. I'll wrap it up for you in about an hour live stream broadcast, and I'll talk to you here. So, yeah, that's the whole gist, guys. That's all the topics we have for today. Special shout out to Jordy Lines from Robert Meyer Burnett's page for dropping in. Dude, really, truly appreciate it, man. That's awesome of you to take the time to do it. Love talking to you, man. I'll see you, of course, in Rob's channel. I don't know if he's having a show today, but I'll try and make it there. My new schedule at work is really messing with my head, so I'm trying to get on the new circadian rhythm here. Storm Shadow, again, thank you so much for dropping by, dude. Love talking to you. To our new subscribers, Arsenal supporters, Discord, thank you so much, man. We also have the awesome Rick Stein, Dr. Nina Warsell. Guys, I think that's a wrap. The Super Bowl is going to be starting in an hour, so I will not be broadcasting that, but have a great time, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you during the week for more awesome movie reviews. And of course, next Saturday, might have to change the time from 11:30 to 1:30. Stay up to date on social media. You can find all the links down there. I'll let you know about that time. But next Saturday, for sure, the live stream for Weekly Weekender will be here. And as guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Damn it, G-Wolf. Jordy. Yeah, Jordy, thank you, man. Great show as always. I'm trying, dude. I'm always making improvements, so thank you, bro. And G-Wolf, dude, yeah, you did miss it, man. I know, I explained in the beginning of the live stream why I'm late doing it on a Sunday at 1:30. But, yeah, if you could rewind, watch that, dude. But thank you so much for dropping in, G-Wolf. So I'll give a special shout out to you, as I have with the other subscribers and other people in the live chat. But yeah, man. Jordy, I shall DM you on Twitter. Yeah, bro. Alrighty. Guys, yeah, if you haven't already, like the video. Always appreciate it. Helps with the algorithm. I think I'm the only YouTuber who is doing weekly wrap-ups of movie news. Everyone does like these daily broadcasts. I can't do that, even though I want to, because I actually have a real job. So that's 40 hours at my real job, 40 hours on YouTube. That's 80 hours a week. It's impossible. So instead, I'm giving you a wrap-up here. So anything we can do to let the YouTube algorithm know that, hey, there's this channel that's doing awesome weekly wrap-ups of movie news, and he's the only guy doing it. the like helps. So like that video, smash like, hit like, fuck like, whatever you want. Yeah. Thanks, G-Wolf. Guys, I will see you later. Jordy, talk to you on Twitter. Have a fantastic weekend and happy Super Bowl Sunday football, sports ball.